Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome. If you could please find your seats. Please find your seats. We begin the service on page 13 with Shalom Aleichem.
בשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, הקדוש ברוך הוא. הם שבת בשבת המחושמדים, שבת חודו פוקה שזיבו שירים. הם שבת בשבת המחושמדים, שבת חודו פוקה שזיבו שירים. שבשבת המחושמדים, שבת חודו פוקה שזיבו שירים. הם שבשבת המחושמדים, שבת חודו פוקה שזיבו שירים.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to our very special Persian Shiru Shabbat. I want to congratulate Cantor Rabbi for designing such a beautiful and meaningful service. It is wonderful that our community carries the blessing of two different traditions within it. We carry the Ashkenazic tradition and the Persian Sephardic tradition, and now we welcome Mizrahi traditions, and we welcome traditions from all around the world. And so I hope that this Persian Shabbat actually begins a new tradition where once a year, or even more than that, we celebrate the multicultural nature of the Jewish people here in Los Angeles and the blessing that it is that we get to experience it in our time. And so I hand it over to Cantor Rabbi to welcome the committee that has in large part been so responsible for allowing the Persian culture to thrive here at VBS for the last several years. Cantor Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi Leibovitz. I'd like to invite up the members of the Persian Culture Committee. You know who you are. Please come forward to help us say the blessing over the candles. Please make your way forward. As Rabbi Leibovitz said, these members of the committee help us so much throughout the year to plan a number of Persian cultural programs, including tonight's program. We are blessed at Valley Beth Shalom with the feeling of family. We are a diverse community of Ashkenazic Jews, Persian Jews, Sephardic Jews, Israeli Jews, and more. And one thing that remains clear in our hearts is that we are all one Jewish family. I'm a first-generation Persian Jew who was born and raised here in Los Angeles, grew up at an Ashkenazic synagogue, and is married to an American Jew. My parents taught me Farsi, instilled a love of Persian culture and tradition within me, and made sure that I was lovingly integrated into American Jewish life while holding on to my ancestry. This is the blessing of our tradition and the gift of our warm and welcoming VBS community. We uplift and illuminate the different backgrounds of our members, sharing our stories with one another, all the while knowing that we are connected. We are all Am Yisrael. Tonight we celebrate the music, stories, and food of the Persian Jewish community, one of the oldest, most ancient Jewish communities in the world outside of the land of Israel, with a 3,000-year history in Persia, now Iran. Tonight you will hear many of our Shabbat prayers with Persian Jewish melodies. I'm grateful to those who taught me these melodies, including my own grandfather of blessed memory, who passed away before I was born, but whose voice is recorded on a cassette tape leading a Passover Seder in Tehran in 1971. Some of you might remember that I sing his Hallelujah during every Hallel here. You just heard Shalom Aleichem set to a famous Persian song, Emshab Shabe Mahtabe, with the Persian lyrics slightly changed to have to do with Shabbat, written by my mom. You will also hear traditional American and Ashkenazic melodies integrated into our service tonight so that everyone among us can participate. And of course, we will honor Dr. Salar Niku for his 20-year contribution to the VBS community. I'm the third Persian Jewish woman to be ordained as a cantor in the United States, but most importantly, I am blessed to be your cantor. We begin our service with Ki Eshmera Shabbat, which I learned from Drew Al-Yashmerni Leach, who learned it from her father Albert from Shiraz, Iran.
Shabbat, El Yishmereini, Ki Yishmera Shabbat, El Yishmereini, Oti Leol Me'at, Beino Uveini, Ki Yishmera Shabbat, Ki Yishmera Shabbat, El Yishmereini, Oti Leol Me'at, Beino Uveini, Oti Leol Me'at, Beino Uveini, Ki Yishmera Shabbat, Ki Yishmera Shabbat, El Yishmereini. Ki Yishmera Shabbat, El Yishmereini, Ki Yishmera Shabbat, El Yishmereini, Oti Leol Me'at, Beino Uveini, Ki Yishmera Shabbat, Ki Yishmera Shabbat, El Yishmereini, Oti Leol Me'at, Beino Uveini, Oti Leol Me'at, Beino Uveini, Ki Yishmera Shabbat, Ki Yishmera Shabbat, El Yishmereini.
We turn to page 21 for Lecha Dodi. This is a Persian Jewish melody I learned from Isaac Budai, who heard it in the Abri Shami synagogue in Tehran.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishme'anu el hameyuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, Shem u'tiferet v'li tehila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat nechu v'nelcha, Ki mikol haberacha, Mirosh mikedem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh v'machshava techila. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
We rise as we face the entrance to our synagogue and welcome the Shabbat bride.
בואי ושלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה.
Join me.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
You may be seated. At this time, I'd like to invite up Violet Sassouni, one of the members of our Persian Culture Committee and longtime beloved member of VBS, to share a few remarks.
Shabbat Shalom. Please. Is it better now? Please allow me first to congratulate Dr. Salar Niku and the dedicated team working with him for their 20 years of Sephardic services. Now I will try to give you a little history of our lives as Jews in Iran, the revolution, and later feeling forced to move to the United States. We were lucky to live in Iran as Jews in the golden era of the Pahlavis, having our own synagogue, Jewish schools, and even a Jewish representative in the parliament, all in the Islamic country. Of course, some may still exist. There are some highlights in my life going to school and college in Iran. I went to a Jewish middle school named Kurosh or Cyrus, where we had separate schools for boys and girls. I remember the chief rabbi of Tehran, Rabbi Yedidia Shofet, coming to our class once a week to teach Judaism. On the other hand, my father made a donation to make a social hall on the top of this school as a source of income for them. Although the Jewish schools may not be there anymore, but the social hall under his name is still open and working. When I graduated from college, it was the last year the Shah of Iran came to Tehran University to present the awards to the top students, and luckily I was one of them. We later moved to Shiraz, where my husband started a large foam processing factory. Right before the revolution, in 1979, when my older daughter Torah was 7 years, my younger Tanaz was 18 months, we joined my husband for a short business trip to Tehran. Since the airlines went on a strike, we had to leave without him in a week on the last El Al flight from Tehran to Tel Aviv. And then in 2 weeks, we flew to the United States, never going back home. When leaving my husband, he asked me to take my daughters to a temple every Shabbat. While in Iran, we only went to the temple on the high holidays. Arriving in Los Angeles, we joined our relatives who had already settled in Westlake Village. We joined First Temple Etz Chaim in Thousand Oaks, where Torah was later bat mitzvah. Thankfully, my husband could finally get out of Iran through Turkey and join us here after 2.5 years. We moved to Encino to be closer to UCLA, where the girls could attend college. We joined Valley Bet Shalom, where we have been blessed with the best for the past quarter century, including Rabbi Schulweis, Rabbi Feinstein, Rabbi Nina Feinstein, Rabbi Leibovitz, Rabbi Aronoff, Cantor Fox, Cantor Barron, and now the talented Cantor Rafi. Tanaz was bat mitzvahed here, and Rabbi Schulweis officiated Torah's wedding. VBS feels like a second home for our larger family, with our 3 grandchildren attending college now. We appreciate Cantor Rafi for recognizing and presenting the rich Iranian culture, music, and traditions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Violetchun, for sharing. It's now my pleasure to invite our amazing youth choir forward, who have learned a few Persian melodies to share with you, beginning with a Persian Baruchu. So I invite you to please rise as we turn to Baruchu on page 28. We invite a few of our youth choir members to stay up and lead us in Shema and Ve'ahavta.
אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב הרבים.
We turn to page 30.
ואהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Page 30.
Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levacha ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושינתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, ושינתה בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, ובקשרתם להיות על ידיך, וחיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. למען תזכרו ותיתן את כל מצוותיי ויתן קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם בארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמן.
Yasher Koach, and we invite the rest of our youth choir back up to lead us in a Persian Sephardic Micha Mocha. The Baruchu and the Micha Mocha are melodies that I composed after studying the musical modes of Persian Jewish prayer music, and you'll hear a little bit of Farsi in Micha Mocha, which is a translation of the Hebrew, again, by my mom. We turn to page 32. And I think some members of our community have heard this over the past few years. Please join me.
Micha mocha,
Micha mocha,
ba'elim Adonai,
ba'elim Adonai,
Mika mocha,
Mika mocha,
neder b'kodesh,
neder b'kodesh,
nora tehilot,
Torah and Amidah,
osef eleh,
Osef eleh,
nora tehilot,
Torah and Amidah,
osef eleh,
Osef eleh,
Micha mocha, ba'elim Adonai, Mika mocha, neder b'kodesh, nora tehilot, osef eleh, osef eleh,
Mika mocha, ba'elim Adonai, Mika mocha, neder b'kodesh, Torah and Amidah, Osef eleh, Osef eleh.
מלכותך, רוב עניך, מלכותך, רוב עניך, בוקר הים, לפני משה ומרים. מיכה מוחה, באלים אדוני, מיקה מוחה, נדר בקודש, תורה תהילה, אוסף אלף, אוסף אלף. Join us. מיכה מוחה,
Ba'elim Adonai, Mika mocha, neder b'kodesh, Torah tehila, Osef eleh,
אוסף אלף. זה לי, ואמרו אדוני עמו לעולם, ועד לעולם, ועד. Kist مثل تو ای خدا در میان آسمان، کیست مثل تو با شکوه در تقدس، شگفت از ستایش، سازنده معجزه، سازنده معجزه. میخا مخا באלים אדוני, میخا مخا נדר בקודש, תורה תהילה, אוסף אלף, אוסף אלף, אוסף אלף, אוסף אלף. ונאמר כי בדת אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We continue on page 33. A common tradition among all Jewish communities around the world is to take a beloved piece of non-religious music and to apply it to a Jewish prayer. We continue with Hashivenu set to the melody of Moreh Sahar, one of the most iconic Iranian songs of all time. I chose this song because it was composed by Morteza Nedavud, a Persian Jew who was one of the most celebrated Persian composers of any background or faith, and a virtuoso tar player. Over time, Moreh Sahar has become a rallying cry against the oppressive Islamist regime in Iran. It represents a yearning for freedom, urging the dawn bird to break free from its cage. So too, Hashivenu for me has become a personal yearning and prayer for the hostages. We pray that God spread a canopy of peace and protection over them and help them to be set free. Hashivenu, page 33.
Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom vehamidenu malkeinu vehamidenu lechaim. Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom vehamidenu malkeinu vehamidenu lechaim. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ותקננו בעצה טובה מלפניך והושיענו למען שמך והגן בעדנו. והסר מעלינו אויב דבר וחרב ורעב ויגון והסר שטן מלפנינו ומאחרינו. וסל כנפיך תסתירנו כי אל שומרנו ומצילנו אתה אל כי אל מלך חנון ורחום אתה. ושמור צדקנו ובואנו ירושלים. עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
Matina Shari on beautiful, beautiful tar playing. Thank you so much. Jamie Papish on DAF and Dana Rajman on guitar. We invite the youth choir forward to lead us in Vishamru, an American Ashkenazic beloved classic melody. Please rise. Vishamru is on page 34.
השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש שבת ויהי נפש שבת ויהי נפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
You remain standing for Chatzi Kaddish.
Chatzi Kaddish will be immediately followed by the Amidah, beginning on page 35b. Please remember to make the correct insertion on page 36, Ya'aleh v'yavo for Rosh Chodesh, for the beginning of the month of Mar Cheshvan. Here we go, Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברה כנותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביום אחד ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה יתברך
Please continue praying at your own pace. We continue with Kaddish Shalem as we invite the youth choir back to the bima. Kaddish Shalem will be followed by Aleinu.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה קירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון ומכון ובחיי תוכל בית ישראל, בגלה בזמן קריב ואמרו אמן, יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעד מאוד מאיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומה ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה ויגמרו, אמן. תתכבוד צלותיהון ובאותיהון דכל ישראל, קודם ובהון דיבי שמי ויגמרו, אמן. יהי שלום הרוב מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויגמרו, אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום,
was a melody from Israel. Please rise, Aleinu, page 51.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו קריאי הרצון, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגואלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומדים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
May be seated.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. You guys go sit down, okay? Yeah, you leave it there. It's okay. I'm kind of short too. Even in moments of great joy and celebration, we take a few moments to remember those who have gone before us. The words of the Mourner's Kaddish are found in your prayer book, in your Siddur, on page 52. We ask those who recite Kaddish in memory of a loved one or observance of a yahrzeit to please stand. It's a custom in our community that if you see yourself sitting near someone who's standing alone, we ask that you stand with them, that no one needs grieve or mourn alone when friends and community are present. Words of Kaddish, Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, v'yalmad divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechal beit Yisrael, ba'galau v'zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach leolam ulmei maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei dekudsha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, Da'amiron be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, huyaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Please be seated. In 1979, when the Iranian Revolution sent thousands of Jewish families across the globe, and thousands came here to Southern California, Rabbi Schulweis, my teacher, gave a sermon from this bima to a very, very Ashkenazic, very gringo congregation. And he said to us, these are our brothers and sisters, they are not strangers. These are our friends, and we must make room for them in this community. And Valley Beth Shalom was one of the very first communities in America to say welcome to Jews from Iran, to Persian Jews. The first ones to come were the children. They came to the school, and our children began going to school with Persian children. And then as the kids got to know each other, we got to know each other, because we came to each other's homes for moments, for parties and birthday parties, and then bar and bat mitzvah, and then weddings, and we became family. There was some friction at first, but slowly, and now in retrospect, in the retrospect of 45 years, it came out very quickly that we quickly became one family. There was much to learn. I had to learn how to eat rice. A lot of rice. And that stuff at the bottom, tajik, That's it. And I want to say, as a good Lithuanian Jew, I love that. I had to learn that if you don't fill your plate 3 times in the home of a Persian family, you have insulted the hostess. So I put this on the normal way, the natural way. And I will tell you with due respect and lots of love that I had to learn how to tell time Persian. If you get invited to a Persian wedding at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and you show up before 7:30, you're going to have to set the table. I never learned how to do that thing. That's the thing. I tried. I'm still a gringo. But we became one family. And we celebrated life together. We laughed and celebrated as our children grew up together. We laughed and celebrated as we became a family. We cried together when our ancestors, our predecessors left us. We were one family. One family. And every Shabbat I would come to synagogue and my family was here. So many of you, so many good friends, except on holidays. And on the holidays came, I didn't know why my dear Persian family wasn't here. So I began to ask, where do you go? And the most brave person in the community was Salar Niku, because he was on the board of the synagogue at the time. And he told me, dear Rabbi, it's okay for us to pray in an Ashkenazic way on Shabbat, but when the holidays come, we want to hear the melodies of our youth. And that made so much sense. It made so much sense. We have a community of beautiful diversity. Why can't we pray in all these voices? And so I went to Salar and said, what would it take to create a service in the melodies of your family, of your youth? And we created a Persian Mizrahi Sephardic service, brought cantors from Israel and cantors from across town, and the best shofar blowers I have ever heard in my life. We had to find a machzor. There was no Hebrew English machzor in the Persian tradition, but we found one, and we ordered all of them on the planet that we could find. And this service began, and for the last 20 years, we have proudly put on a Sephardic service. We call it a Sephardic service, but it's Mizrahi Persian service, alongside an Ashkenazic service. And tonight, we have the opportunity to say thank you to Salar for his teaching, his leadership, his vision, his insistence that this happen, and for how much he's taught me and taught us about being one family. So let's begin with family. Salar's son Daniel, I tried so hard to get him to go to rabbi school. I am still trying, but he had to go and become a famous doctor. And so it is my privilege to welcome Dr. Daniel Niku for a few words.
This is very different from when I was a bar mitzvah, however long ago. This is beautiful, actually. So I just got here in the nick of time because I was just at the hospital checking on a patient that's in labor. So I'm an OBGYN, so it's a fun life, to say the least. You're constantly running back and forth. So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good evening. Where to start? We're here in gratitude and celebration to honor a man who has dedicated the last 20 years of his life serving and uplifting all of us. 20 years ago, he pursued an opportunity to bring a traditional Sephardic Mizrahi service to Valley Beth Shalom. And if you don't know my father, once he has a project in his hands, he will not ensure that all the T's are just crossed and the I's are dotted. He will make sure that the paper that the speeches are printed on are the best quality, the prayers are sung with the utmost kavod, and that the timetables are met at the precise moment. Because if you've ever been to the service, if you're ever late, he will apologize profusely. And he'll find up a way to make up that time so that you actually get out and be with your family for the breaking of the fast, for instance. So that's my father to a T. My dad has dedicated much of his time over the years to community service, including organizations like Siomak, Magbit, and the Iranian Jewish Federation. He spent countless hours helping others and growing the Jewish community, but never asked for recognition in return for his efforts. When he cared for something and loved something, he put his heart into it, including the Sephardic service here at VBS. Before my father started this service, he attended countless shuls and services, and I was there with him most of the time, unless I was in college or med school. And he was looking for a place we could call our own. Ultimately, he wanted his wife, his children, and extended family to experience with him firsthand the traditions he was familiar with, the tunes he grew up listening to. And when he was given that opportunity to create the VBS Sephardic service, there was a giddiness about him. He was excited. And it takes a lot to get my dad excited, but there's always those moments, not just his kids going to school, but this brought a new life, a rejuvenation of the soul, and a new purpose to community and a commitment to that community. So he and his colleagues wanted to assimilate their traditions into traditions of our Ashkenazi community. Over the years, he has done just that and continues to do so. The services are an amalgamation of various traditions and minhagim, for instance, the swaying and the attentiveness to prayer, the sharing of meaningful midrashim. And if you know my dad, he loves to give midrashim. Every time you go into the service, he always would ask me, what do you think of this story? Do you think Rabbi Feinstein would approve of this? Is this a good story? And he wanted to make it an ability to share with your family and share those sacred high holidays as one. My father's commitment has been a guiding light, building a space where faith, compassion, and community come together. Through tireless devotion, he has brought us closer, strengthened our spirits, and inspired us to be better to each other and to ourselves. We saw a need in our community, and with unwavering faith, he transformed that vision into reality that has touched countless lives. As his son, I've had the privilege of witnessing my father's dedication up close. I've seen him pour his heart into every gathering, every service, and every small moment he shares with each of you. His commitment to community is a commitment to all of us, to uplifting spirits, to creating a place of belonging, and to reminding us of the power of faith and unity. Growing up, I've been so proud to call him my father, but I'm even prouder to see the legacy he's built. And knowing the sacrifices he has made only makes me more in awe of his selflessness. He may not know it, and I may not express it all the time, but it's there. His work isn't just a series of services, it's a testament to the endurance and the adaptability of the Jewish faith. Today, we celebrate not only his dedication to his faith, but his unshakable commitment to this community he holds so dear. Thank you, Dad, and we love you.
Do this together. When Rabbi Schulweis spoke to us in 1979, he said to us, we finish every service with the words of the prophet Zechariah. V'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. One day, God will rule the whole world. Bayom ahu, in that day, yeh Adonai echad u'shmo echad. God will be one, and his name will be one. Rabbi Schulweis said, if we want to live those words and enact those words, we have to show that we are one family, one people, with one heart. We may speak to our grandparents in different languages. You may speak to your grandparents in Farsi. I speak to my grandparents in Yiddish. But we are one. We are one family with one dream and one hope, that our children will live in peace and wholeness and security and know God and know Torah. With one. Now, my family comes from Lithuania, which is far away from here, and a land which is very cold. And so our Jews tend to be very sad. That's just the way we are. If you've ever seen Eastern European food, it's very sad. The Persian community came in 1979 and taught us what Judaism from a warm land looks like. It's joyful, It's sweet, it's uplifting, it's spicy, it's colorful. And for that, I am so, so grateful. Salar, I came to you 20 years ago, and I said, let's make this happen. And for 20 years, you have made Zechariah's prophecy come true. You have made us one people who pray in one voice, with one heart, to one God, with one dream. Salar, with all our hearts, we thank you. Would everyone please stand? Salar, please come forward. I have a gift for your dad.
It's a nice gift.
Is that nice? Salah, this gift comes from Valley Beth Shalom and all of its families for all that you have shared with us, your soul, your heart, and so many hours. It is a shofar. You're not allowed to use this one because it's covered in silver with the word Yerushalayim and the figure of the city of Jerusalem as a symbol of our dream. And the base says, we honor Dr. Salar Niku with gratitude for your vision and dedication in stewarding the Sephardic High Holiday Services 2004-2024, and God willing, for many, many, many years to come. Yasher kochacha. Thank you so much. Want to say something? Come on, please.
Now I understand why when I asked my son Daniel to edit my speech, he said no. He never told me no. It was a big surprise. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom and Chodesh Tov. First, thank you, Cantor Rafi, for initiating and leading tonight's program. I'm truly humbled to be honored here tonight for directing the Sephardic services at VBS. Each year, before diving into the preparation of our high holiday services for the following year, I reflect one question. Do I really want to embark on this journey again, considering all the time, effort, and challenges it involves? In those moments of doubt, I found my answer by remembering the voice of our community, participated in the services in the past, voices filled with joy, gratitude, and connection. I remember the countless conversations after services where people expressed their heartfelt appreciation for what they experienced during the service. I remember after the very first service we had, a woman who shared her gratitude with me that it was her first time sitting in a synagogue next to her husband and her daughter, praying together with her family, being able to follow the prayers and immersing herself in the beauty of Mizrahi melodies, feeling a level of spirituality that she had not experienced anywhere else. Another participant expressed his appreciation that it was the first time for him at the Mizrahi service that he learned and understood the meaning behind the prayers through the explanations and or stories of the Mishnah that we shared. But these two examples are not the only ones. Every year, I heard similar expressions of gratitude. These were the primary reasons inspired me to continue leading the services every year. I grew up in a traditional Jewish family in Tehran. As a child, I was going to the shul with my father every Shabbat and holidays. My father was a Hebrew teacher, a scholar in Torah and Mishnah, and a chazan leading and conducting services. He was my teacher in the subject of Chazanut. My father was a traditional Orthodox individual when it came to the prayers, but very contemporary in his perspectives and in his sermons. He taught me the importance of blending tradition and modernity. The day I was leaving Tehran for the United States, my father offered me an invaluable advice on the importance of integration. He told me, wherever you go, you should lean and adapt to the customs of that community, but it's also important to remember to honor and to adopt the customs that you grow up with. Today, I recognize this as a basic principle of personal management, adopting and adapting, this wisdom that has stayed with me throughout my life and was something that I took to heart. When I first arrived in the United States, my initial experience during the high holiday was at the Hillel House at Stanford University. It was my first exposure to an Ashkenazi mahzor, and unexpectedly, it was my first time conducting part of the service. Although it was an opportunity to connect to my new environment, I realized that I missed the traditional service that shaped my childhood. So after graduating and moving to Southern California, I searched for a new community and a synagogue. In 1980, I discovered Valley Beth Shalom, and I felt an immediate connection. I joined as a member, started attending Shabbat services regularly, yet a part of me still wanted the traditional holiday of my upbringing. With the help of a couple flow members of an Iranian Jewish organization called Siamak, we initiated a Persian traditional high holiday service. To our surprise, 1,500 participants joined us, a testament to the community desire for our shared heritage. We continued this service for many years until the organization dissolved. Once again, I found myself navigating a new chapter, seeking balance and belonging. It wasn't until the first Shabbat after Yom Kippur in 2004 when Rabbi Feinstein found that I and many other regular Persian members had been absent from the high holiday services. So he suggested that I might need to introduce a traditional service at VBS. This pivotal moment sparked a new journey, one where we could honor our past while adapting to our present. That day at lunch, I shared Rabbi Feinstein's comment with Jeff Levine, our president. Jeff is here, right? Yes. Knowing that I was a board member, he asked me to prepare a plan of action and bring it to the next board meeting. After the board's approval, we formed a Sephardic committee, and together we began implementing our vision. In 2005, our first service welcomed 220 participants, a modest beginning that laid the foundation for our growth. We were incredibly blessed to be able to start and continue the Sephardic service for 2 decades. Our Sephardic High Holiday service at VBS is truly unique by adopting the traditional Mizrahi practice and adapting it to the modern practice here at VBS. We do not have any other service anywhere else like it. Our service is a full service flavored with beautiful Yerushalmi and Mizrahi melodies and focus on elevating each person's spirituality. It is a service where families can sit together, and unlike some other similar services, we do not spend excessive time selling honors. The services are run by volunteers, and the generous donations from participants have made it financially viable. Our services have become a point of imitation for other synagogues and organizations in Los Angeles. We are a venue where Ashkenazi and Sephardic service take place concurrently in one building under one roof, where the two traditions coexist, fostering respect, unity, and inclusivity. The welcoming environment at VBS has made this place a true home for many of us, and we could not have asked for a better home. Tonight, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all individuals who have contributed to our success over the years. Cantor Rafi, one more time. Thank you for initiating this Shiru Shabbat program and for including Sephardic service in tonight's program. Your efforts here at VBS for the last 3 years have made a significant positive impact in our organization. I salute our professional cantors over the years who have enriched our experience with their knowledge of prayers, with their beautiful melodies, and their dedication. We have also been blessed with dedicated shofar blowers, the Paktaman brothers, I believe you are somewhere sitting in that corner, who have brought an extra layer of warmth and tradition to our services every year. I extend my deepest gratitude to Rabbi Feinstein for his continued support of me and this program, and appreciate your enlightening midrashim in each service each year. I truly appreciate the late Rabbi Sholvais Zachor Letov for his inspiration during the beginning years. And I acknowledge the steadfast support, direction, and attention we received from our current senior rabbi, Rabbi Nolan Leibovitz, over the past 3 years. The success of these 20 years of programming could not happen without the support and dedication of VBS lay management and staff. My sincere thanks to 11 of our VBS presidents, whom I received significant personal advice from, and we conducted our services under their direction and oversight. I believe at least 4 of the presidents are here tonight. Thank you to all of you. My sincere appreciation to our executive director, Matt Weintraub, thank you, Matt, and the entire team of VBS who have assisted us in implementing the program, especially this past year, including, just to name a few, Yossi Dresner, Orit Rappaport, Maya Aharon, Karen Ben Yishai, Ilana Zimmerman, Judy Feldman, and many other wonderful staff that assisted us during last year. Bringing this program together has never been an easy task. Every year, it has required months of planning, negotiating, and outreaching to create the service. So I want to express my deepest gratitude to those who have played a special role in bringing this program to life and dedicated many years of the service. There are so many I would like to acknowledge, but allow me to name just a few. And if I name your name here, if you are in the room, I would ask you to please stand up to be recognized. Farzaneh and Mas'ud Eshaqian, Farzaneh Farnoosh, Janet Jalilmand, Mike and Janet Razbania, David and Fariba Hakakzadeh, Morad Amiriye, Dina and Faramars Faramarzi, Turaj Purshamtubi, Elham Lahijaniha, Merlin Younesi. Please stand up so be recognized if you are in the room. But last not least, the three individuals who tolerated and supported me for all these 3 years, my wife Hengame and my children Daniel and Sharon. Thank you to both of you. Please forgive me, I missed anybody or dropped any names. But my sincere thanks to all of you for all your support. Thank you to all of the friends and family, all the patrons of the Sephardic service, and all Persian food lovers who supported tonight's program. Together, we have created something remarkable at VBS, and I am looking forward to continuing this journey together with support of all of you for the next year. Shabbat Shalom and Am Israel Chai.
Take your gift. Let me help you with it.
You may be seated. I want to also add my mazel tov to everyone else's mazel tov. Salar, I value our relationship so much. When I think back on the 3 years that I've been here, getting to know you and your family, officiating Shiva in your home, seeing the beauty of your family all standing together, spending time with you in Minyan, getting to know you during the high holidays, has been one of the great highlights of being here at this community. Thank you very much for allowing me into your heart and into your family and into your community. Thank you. One of the things that I've always admired most about the Persian community is the inner strength and the confidence and the bravery that you bring. But I want to warn you, you're not that brave, because my daughter just got her driver's permit today. And so this is also celebration Mazel Tov Shelby. And if this service goes real Persian time, we're going to celebrate Maddie's birthday at midnight. So Mazel Tov Maddie. The Torah does an interesting thing. The Torah tells us that our most profound moment as a people occurs at a place called Sinai. Where is Sinai? Well, I once touched this subject before in this community, and someone came up to me after the service and said, Rabbi, I was a teenager in the 70s. My parents sent me to Israel, and the tour guide brought me to Sinai. I got a t-shirt that says, I climbed Sinai, and stood exactly in the spot where Moses received the Torah. Why are you saying that? Because I'm sure that the group that went back the next summer went to another mountain and got another t-shirt that said they went to Sinai, and they stood in the same spot as Moses. The truth is, we don't know where Sinai is. I'm sure that if we all traveled to the Sinai Peninsula, there would be an Israeli tour guide that would show us with absolute certainty that this is Sinai, and there would be somebody selling tchotchkes there, and smoothies, and everything that happens at every Israeli site that we visit, but none of us know where Sinai is. And we don't know what the melodies are that they sang at Sinai, except for the fact that I do know what the melodies are that they sang at Sinai, because I grew up listening to Chazan Henry Rosenblum, and he absolutely knew the melodies that were sung at Sinai. And if you knew Chazan Rosenblum, you would know that he knew the melodies at Sinai. And my grandparents, where they grew up, they knew the melodies at Sinai, and Cantor Raffi's grandparents knew the melodies at Sinai, and your grandparents, and none of us know where Sinai is, because Sinai is wherever we receive the Torah. For me, that was in a place called Highland Park, Illinois. And I thought that Highland Park, Illinois was uniquely special I thought it was a place in the suburbs of Chicago where kids could go out and play Little League and play in Port Clinton Square and enjoy ourselves. Until I heard about Highland Park, Texas. Highland Park, Texas sounded a lot like Highland Park, Illinois. And so did Syosset, Long Island, and so did Encino, California. And I'm sure, I don't know where you're from, but I'm sure you're from Highland Park, Tehran. I'm absolutely positive of it. Because wherever we go in the world, we create Sinai. Sinai is a place of our creation that we fashion to be the place where we want to hand the tradition to our children. Because the truth is that the treasure of the book of Shemot, if you read the book of Exodus carefully, the treasure, the secret of the book is not to find Sinai on a map. It's not the location of Sinai. It's the names of the individuals who stood at Sinai. It's the people who were part of the miracle of the reception of Torah and the revelation of the divine word. In one of my most favorite moments of the month, Rabbi Feinstein and I sit together and we record a podcast called Torah on the Go. And the book of Exodus is so profound that it took us 4 episodes to actually get to a verse without talking about the book at large. The miracle of the book of Exodus, Sefer Shemot, is the Shemot, is the names. And so if you ask me, what are the treasures of Tehran? I could answer you very easily what the treasures of Tehran is. It's not the rice, as much as I love the rice. It's not the gundi, as much as I love the gundi. We can play this game. I like a lot of foods. The treasure of Tehran is the Nikus. The treasure of Tehran is the Hakaksides. The treasure of Tehran is the Torbadis and the Yadagars and the Rafis. Those are the treasures of Tehran. Your kids, they might like rice, their grandkids might like rice, but if I had to bet you $1, of course not on Shabbos, I bet you that their grandchildren are going to eat hot dogs and hamburgers and French fries. That's okay. The treasure of Tehran is that we found each other, is that you found us, and that we found you. And whether or not we sing Shalom Aleichem in some melody that I've never heard before, or whether we sing it according to the melody that Chazan Rosenblum sang from Sinai, what matters most is that we sing together. And what the Sephardic service represents here at Valley Beth Shalom is that no matter what divides we have of language, of melody, of culture, we recognize for at least 20 years, and God willing, 20,000 more, that we belong together, especially in our most joyous celebratory moments like the high holidays. The greatest symbol that the Jewish people has, that we belong together, is the flag that stands behind me, with one star, that the culture in Tehran and that the culture in Chist and that the culture in Lodz, where my grandparents are from, and the cultures of so many of where we're from, we all understood that that star represented some kind of callback to King David. The star represents that we are all united by a single symbol. That symbol has become even more meaningful in this last year to bind us together. May the 20 years of the treasure of us being together bless this community with 20,000 more. And may we always, always know in our hearts to open the doors of this community to every Jewish immigrant that shows up to Los Angeles looking for a home. Because this building and this community is not just home to the Jews of Encino, it's to every Jew who claims that they are from Sinai. Please join me, please rise as we sing Hatikva.
כל עוד בלבב פנימה נפש יהודי הומייה ולפת מזרח קדימה עין לציון צופיה עוד נובטה תקוותנו, התקווה בת שנות 2000, להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים.
We look forward to you joining us tomorrow morning for services. Cantor Fox will be here for Shacharit. Does everybody remember Cantor Fox? Cantor Fox will be back here for Shacharit. And now, would you like to thank a few people, or would you like to conclude with Kiddush?
Let's conclude with Kiddush, and then we'll invite up another member of our Persian Culture Committee.
Right.
So you can turn to page 312. This is the melody that I learned from my dad, who learned it from our cousin Shohre, who learned it from her Jewish day school in Tehran, who learned it from a rabbi from Jerusalem who came to teach them.
יום השישי ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם ויכל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות סברי מרנן ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצבנו ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
We want to thank our wonderful Persian musicians who played Persian music this evening. Daniel Reisman on guitar, Matina Shari on tar, and Jamie Papish on percussion, including daf. And those of you who are staying for the dinner will have a little presentation of the daf and the tar at dinner with a little musical performance. So we look forward to that. Thank you again to the amazing members of the Persian Culture Committee. I'd like to now invite up one of them, Farzana Farnoosh, a devoted member of Valley Beth Shalom for many, many years with a beautiful singing voice. We're going to conclude with Adon Olam, page 187, sung to the tune of Gole Sangam, a Persian classic melody. And thank you once again to our youth choir as well.
אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יסיר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה והוא אחד ואין שני להכילו להעבירה לי ראשית לי תכלית לא העוז והמזרח אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא והוא אלי וחי בצור חבלי בצרה והוא ניסי ומנוסי מנת כוסי ביום אקרא בידו עקיד רוחי ואת אישן והרירה ועם רוחי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא יירא אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא گل سنگم چی بگم از دل تنگم مثل آفتاب اگه بر من نکشی سردم بیرنگم یا لا لای لای 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 لای
May have played for 10 minutes.